Hi everyone, it's Tales of Gear. Today we're out at the range and we'll do some shooting with the King Arms M203 grenade launcher. I'll be shooting the GMP 40mm grenades that use these different kinds of projectiles. I will get to that in a bit. I'm using smart gas, and here are the projectiles. These are the 5KU brand projectiles, and I have filled them up with sand, and the numbers you see are how much they weigh. Then here is a set of 5 which are homemade by casting, and as you can see, these are the weights. Then we have the standard GMP ones, the ultra lightweight ones. We will see how these perform. And at the end we have the far left one is filled with hot glue. This is the weight, as you can see. Then we have another hot glue one, just a different type of projectile, and the last one is the stock version of the 5KU projectile. So I'll set up the camera and let's get started. Hey guys, before we continue with the footage from the range, I need to tell you a few things about projectiles, about the M203, so you actually can better understand what I was doing. So first off, short report on the M203. If you haven't watched my other videos about the M203, the modifications I have done to it, please take a look. I can report that the M203 performed perfectly. All the modifications proved reliable, and the braking process was successful. Opening of the barrel is smooth, closing is smooth, barrel stays open, so it works perfectly. That's about that. And now to the projectiles. Some of you might say, why are you bothering with making projectiles when you can buy the tag-in grenades? Well, that's true. The tag-in ones are very cool, and they for sure have much greater range than these ones, but they are also a little bit on the expensive side, and you have to fire them on a airsoft range. For my needs, I needed something that was easy available, easy to set up to shoot, and of course fun, and that was somewhat close to the actual M203 and the actual 40mm grenades. So if you have watched my video on the GMP shells, I have got them recently, and I've tested the stock tips or projectiles, if you will, and I wasn't really impressed, because I was getting around 30 meters range on a good day, and that's ridiculous. So I was expecting more from projectiles like that. I happen to have 5KU brand projectiles, which of course do not fit on the GMP shells, and I had to mold these shells. I have made a video on that, you can watch it. And this allowed me to use the GMP shell and to fire the 5KU projectiles. After the initial testing, I've got around 60 meters range with the stock 5KU shells, which are, as you can see, just 12 grams. And as we know, if we have heavier projectiles, we should get greater range, just as we use heavier BBs to get more range. I will talk about each type of shell before I blend in the video, but before that I need to point out a few things about how I've done the test to get fair results. First off, the filling of the shells itself. Before resetting the shell, I have cooled it down by pouring gas in and cooling down the chamber inside, then resetting it and filling it up with 4 seconds of this green gas here. So for each shot I've done the same thing with all 3 shells. Okay, what are the differences? The differences were in type of shell, also how tight fitting these were on the shell. Second factor is the position I was shooting it from. It was a kneeling position, and I was trying, the third factor, I was trying to get a 45 degrees angle as close as possible. So each shot was paid attention to have all these factors set before shooting. If you're wondering what this is my resetting tool for the shells, which I've made from an old screwdriver and a AK shell. Well, it's a neat little tool to quickly reset the GMP shells. Now, in the first video I've used the custom-made shells. I've made them because I wasn't able to find more of the 5KU shells, because these were out of stock everywhere. So I've used one of them to make a mold, and then used resin to cast these here. These turn out to have a weight of 22 grams, while the stock one is just 12 grams, which is good. So after testing these, I was getting way over 60 meters, which is great. And only thing is, when I make them, I need to wrap around like 4 layers of electrical tape, because the walls are very thin and tend to break under pressure. So to prolong the lifetime of these, I've used the electrical tape around the projectile, and it works. I have shot this one numerous times, and it didn't break. So let's take a look at the video. Sorry about the wind, but it's a good test to see how the wind affects the accuracy and the grouping of the projectiles. So let's see. First one, 21 grams. Second one, 21 grams. Third one, 22 grams. The first two, around 1.5 meters apart, not bad. And the third one is like 4 meters right here. So there's the target, 20 meters. It's like 20 meters away, so we got a range out like 60 meters or so. The grouping is within 5 meters, let's say. As you have seen, the custom ones get a range from 55 to 60 meters, but it's not shown in the footage. I've repeated this test, and I got a little bit greater range, around 70 meters with these. The thing is, I didn't fill up the shells properly the first time in this first video, So I redone the test and got a little bit of greater range. The range around 70 meters for these custom ones is just about right. Next up are these 5KU ones, which are filled with sand to make them heavier. They are the same weight as the custom-made ones, so let's see how these perform. Next up, 3 40mm grenades. The tips are 22 grams, and these are the 5KU projectiles filled with sand. Let's try it out. Second one, 45 degrees. The last one. This looks very promising. Let's check it out. We have the last one, third one over there, and man, that's look at that. See that? Here it is, and look the target. There's the target in line. Let's check it out. Yeah, 22 grams, 5KU projectile type 1 filled with sand. Here it is. Awesome. Let's get back and continue firing. As you have seen, 70 to 80 meters with these. I think the shells itself had a little bit time to warm up, and this resulted in greater range. And in a real life scenario, when in the game, you wouldn't be firing the shell immediately after you fill it up. It would be for a while in the launcher and warm up. The pressure inside would build up, so you will get a much greater range with a projectile on it. So I guess this is the reason why I've got 70 to 80 meters with that one. Next up are these type 2 tip 5KU ones filled with sand. These are the heaviest ones, 26 grams. Let's see how these perform. So next up are 3 5KU type 2 projectiles filled with sand. The weight is 26 grams. These are the heaviest I have. Let's test it. Second one. Last one. Let's check it out. They are both in line. like 3 meters apart. Let's see the last one. Here it is. Let's continue. As you have seen, I've got a little bit less range with these. That was around 65 meters. And I guess 26 grams might be a little bit too heavy. The beneficial side of it is they are very stable in flight, even the strong wind. So I will test them a little bit more to see if the shape of the tip has anything beneficial to it. So I will do more tests with these ones. And the last ones are this stock 5KU one, 12 grams. Fast flight, you can get range out of it, but if there is strong wind from the side, it will go far away from the target. Then there were actually 2 of these filled with hot glue, complicated to make, and the results are the worst from all of the projectiles. They tumble, they just are not consistent, and I'm ruling them out. I won't be making these anymore. There is no footage on the GMP stock ones because I've tested them before, and the results are terrible, around 30 meters, and I just didn't want to bother shooting them, disassembling the modified shells, etc. So 30 meters on a good day, and that's it, what you get out of them. In conclusion, the custom-made ones, you can get ranges from 55 to 100 meters. I will talk about that in a bit. They perform the same as the 5KU ones, and the testing ones, very light ones like these and these stock ones, 11 or 12 grams is just not enough weight to get range, to get consistency. 21 or 22 grams, either custom or 5KU modified by filling with sand, seems to be the perfect weight of the projectiles, while the 26 gram ones are a little bit sluggish, but are very resistant to wind. So I will test these a little bit more to see if I can get more range out of that. It is super fun to shoot them. You can fill them up fairly quickly. You get very good range out of that, and I will continue testing them. And it's time to talk about this blue one, which flew 100 meters. 100 meters is possible, but under certain conditions. First off, wind was blowing from behind, which helped. There was no drag. Secondly, I filled up the shell with 5 seconds of gas, and I left it like a few minutes on the sun to warm up and to create a much higher pressure inside. And the third factor was I wasn't kneeling this time, I was standing, and I held the launcher a little bit over 50 degrees, and well, looks like that this angle just a little bit above 50 degrees, and the higher pressure resulted in much greater range. So 100 meter easy. Well, it was fun to see it fly that far away. So yeah, if you want to have that range, you can, but you need to take care of a few factors to achieve that. So and as a bonus, here is footage about a practical shooting test of these projectiles. I've set up target 50 meters away, and I've actually got a hit with these custom-made projectiles. I haven't used any sights, and in the future I will make a target shooting test with these projectiles, and I will use the sights for the M203 and see if I can sight in and if I get any consistency in order to actually use the sights to shoot the target. Enjoy the testing footage. So this test here is for fun, just to test a practical test. Let's see if I can hit the target. The target is at approximately 50 meters, and I'm using the shells with a 5Ku type 2 tip, and the weight of the projectile is 26 grams. I've changed where I'm shooting. The wind is now blowing from my back to the front. This should help the accuracy. Let's see how it goes. I have 3 projectiles. I really hope I will hit one. Almost. Not bad. No sights. Second one. Almost. Very close. It's bouncing off. Last one. And a little bit short. Well, I'm very satisfied for actually doing this for the first time and on camera. So I'm looking forward for the actual target shooting. So let's do that again. The next 3 projectiles are 2 times the casting ones. 21 grams projectiles. Same type, the third one, but it's the 5Ku filled with sand, 22 grams. Let's see if I can hit the target with those. Way too short. The second custom one, 21 gram. Hit! That's crazy. That's crazy, right on top of that. Let's see if I can repeat that. 50 meters. Not bad. And a little bit short. Let's have some more fun. Next up, 3 times custom made ones, 21 and 22 grams. Let's see if I can hit the target. A little bit short. Target at 50 meters. We'll aim sort of higher. Not bad. I think it's in line. Just got a little bit to the right. Last one. Not bad, not bad. Let's take a look. Shortest one is like 40 meters. Let's find the others. Okay, let's see how many I have. 7. I think there should be more. I won't find them. No way. That's what I could recover. Let's get home. So shooting the target was extremely fun, and I will do that again, hopefully soon. Also, I will use another camera to set it near the target to see maybe how the projectiles impact the target or around the target. So thank you for joining me in this video. If you have any questions, please comment in the comments below. Have a great day. Bye.